From the Cactus Creek at Ibri, he is the king of primetime, Ghana's undisputed entertainment laureate, and still the youngest old man in Ghana. Put your hands together, show some love for the indefatigable KSM.
The KSM Show.
All right. Look, you know how I usually introduce my people and tell you who's on board? Today, zip, make a heap. I want you to watch this. Take a look at this.
Rastaman don't go in a barber shop. Rastaman can sit in a barber chair. So man come and show and cut it. Banga langa banga and bobo yaga yaga. Carry go and bring come. Too much watching, no nothing. Cookie, no kali. I don't know.
Okay, folks, you've seen it. He needs no introduction. Put your hands together, show some love for my man, Black Rasta. Good to see you, bro. Very well. Please have a seat. Rasta man in the house. We're going to take a short commercial break. When we come back, Barber Shop, Honey Echo first. Stick around. We'll be right back.
The KSM Show.
I have breaking news for you guys. This past Sunday, all the fathers met and they issued a very, very urgent communique going to their wives, to their children, and to all their relatives. The communique simply states this, that this Father's Day, they want to spend it at Cactus Creek in Abri. So the date is Sunday, the 16th of June. The fathers insist, say, Mufomra Cactus Creek. So let me give you the number to call Cactus Creek. Make a reservation for your dad and for you. Come and have a good time. You're from the local, amazing dishes. 055-039-5007. Cactus Creek. Looking forward to seeing you.
Is it the luxurious rooms? Or the serene green surroundings? Is it the tempting swimming pool? Or the classy conference room? Or the cute gift shop? Maybe it's our chef's array of cooking delights. Whichever way, it's all about Cactus Creek. A most respected hotel. 055 039 5007.
The KSM Show.
Wagwan, this be your boy, too stubborn for your liking, aka El Chairman, aka Top at Top. You dey watch King of Primetime, the KSM Show. Still numero uno, too stubborn for your liking. Oh.
We're back. And I told you, my man needs no introduction. Black Rasta.
Oh, yes.
Welcome to the show, man.
Thank you so much. I'm happy to be here.
It's good to see you here.
Oh, yes.
Before we even go anywhere, That song was it? The Rasta man to the barber shop? What?
Yes. Oh yes, Rasta man don't go in a barber shop. Rasta man can sit in a barber chair. Too much combi, and trim it. Shave and cut. Banga langa banga and bogo yaga. Carry go and bring come. Too much watch it, no natty. Cookie, no kale.
I love it. You know,
Thank you so much.
I mean, as old as I am, I love TikTok. So it's just so, Rasta man sitting down there jamming like that. Is that your latest?
For real, yes, it's my latest. It's actually from a 20-track album. I mean, these days, Gen Z does not do albums. You know, they do EPs and singles.
Yeah.
But I'm still a man of ancient times.
So you do
I
album.
still love to have an album. So my album is a 20-track album. It's called Salaga Soldier.
Yes,
and Barbershop is the 15th track on the album.
Really?
Yes. In fact, the first track on the album is called Sodom and Gomorrah. And when we talk about Sodom and Gomorrah, you know what we're talking about. But the song goes straight into your jugular vein when you listen to it. How does it go? Bring down the fire, Jehovah. We need the fire, oh Jaja. Burn down the system, burn down the state. Punish the leader. So many church yet sinner increase. Roman father in a pedophilia. We no have no love now, it's man to man. Too much wickedness. So let the fire come. Oja kokono, fire. Let the fire come on Sodom and Gomorrah.
Ghana feels like Sodom and Gomorrah.
Yes,
Yeah?
it does. I'm glad you went straight into it. You understood it perfectly. I mean, when you read the story of Sodom and Gomorrah, it says that the people were very wicked. The people were murderous. They were bloodthirsty. And this is what we are going through right now. But, you know, a lot of people only want to relegate Sodom and Gomorrah to homosexuality. Man sleeping with man.
It goes beyond that.
It was worse than that. It goes beyond that. And I had the opportunity to go all the way to Israel and have the opportunity to go around those areas and witness things firsthand. I've seen a lot of documentaries and the science behind Sodom and Gomorrah. Now, when you look at our country, and Africa in general, a lot of countries in Africa and beyond, we need the fire of the Almighty to descend on some of these wicked leaders, one after the other. Those who are bald-headed, may it still descend on them, whether they like it or not. Burn them and relegate them to hell where Satan would sodomize them, so they understand what it means to say Sodom and Gomorrah. It's terrible, KSM. I have children who are growing up. Sometimes at night, I wake up and sit by them, sleeping, and I'm just shedding tears. My first child is about 18 years now. The second child is 15. Now the third child, in fact, is 10. You see, so I sit down and look at these little children sleeping, and I cry, and I ask them for forgiveness in the spirit, that I brought them into a country that has no respect for humanity, a country that is only full of leaders who are only interested in winning the next election and not about the welfare of the people. I see a lot of children die at Fana, going to school. They drown. We wait until tragedy strikes before we become reasonable. And even that reasonableness is only for a short while. Then we go back like the proverbial vulture into the foolishness again. It hurts me. And I'm wondering, what kind of a country is this? Where have I been born to? Or am I crazy? Sometimes I look at myself and I say, oh, I think I'm crazy. I think that I'm behaving differently from a lot of these leaders. I don't belong here. I belong at the asylum or somewhere else. It is sad what we are seeing.
Not to cut you, but does that, what affects you most, that in the midst of everything you're saying, people look cool, we look calm. They say we are very, very happy people. Are we?
That is where the problem is. We are a docile people, an impotent people. But Nkrumah said something that I will never take for granted. He said that the average Ghanaian might look like a docile, very, very weak human, but when it strikes him most and he takes action, you can't control him. That's what Nkrumah said, paraphrased. I think that we have lost that quality where Nkrumah described us as a people who are potentially hot. We could be cold for some time, but when we spark hot, nobody can stop us. In the days of Nkrumah, it could be true. But today, I'm waiting for that heat. I'm not getting it. When I heat up a little bit, a few people heat up a little bit, you get calls all over the place. People are calling you and asking you to cool down. You are not the only Ghanaian and all that. I think that our leaders are taking us for granted. Today I was on radio and I was saying that, thank God we are not in those days. If we were in those days by now, there would have been a bad coup d'etat in this country. Oh yes, we are not advocating one in the country, but it is sad the way these leaders are taking us for granted. Can you imagine Baumia is going around campaigning? Can you imagine Nana Addo is still looking for somebody from his own backbone to be able to rule this nation? What kind of a people are we? Sometimes I wish I had a certain button that I could press and it will start exploding in their faces so that they will get to understand that this is how we truly feel. You have run down the economy. You were touted as the Adam Smith of this nation. Little did we know that you are a blacksmith. The fact that you had a Smith in your name, we thought you were an Adam Smith. The president said he brought you in for you to be able to manage the economy. Today the economy is in shambles. Before I came in here, I went to check the dollar rate. It's almost hitting 16 Ghana cedis. Last year, November, it went all the way to an all-time high of 17.17 Ghana cedis. Are we not going there? And these guys still have the mouth to go around and campaign. What are they talking about? Are they telling the people that we need God? Because we are in a country where everybody believes that our problems are spiritual. Therefore, it's not the fault of this leader, not that leader. It's the fault of a certain devil who is black in color. Therefore, we have to go and kill that devil in the churches and in the mosques so that we will be able to grow. It is sad.
Incidentally, we kill the devil every year, sometimes every week. So that devil must be really, really, really strong. Because
that devil might have a Medusa head.
But
maybe.
Getting back on this, way back then, I'm sure you must have been a kid or even when we were growing up, the people were generally very active. I mean, in our days when NUCS, National Union of Ghana students, when the president of NUCS made a statement, the country was shaking. They had power, they had clout, you know. But these days, I don't know, everybody has been sort of neutralized, you know, politics has taken over everything, and that's part of what is frustrating you.
Yeah.
You know, is that everything has been politicized. The army, the police, name it. But
we are not learning. We are not learning. When you look at the Congo and look at Rwanda, what sent them into their all-time crisis? Politicizing the army, the military, the police, and so on and so forth. Even the judiciary is happening in Ghana. Rawlings talked about this over and over in several interviews about the politicization of our military. Tribalism is rife. That is why I took it upon myself. I told myself, Black Rasta, it looks like you're talking too much. Why don't you walk the talk? So I started going from region to region in Ghana. And I was hitting at the secondary schools, SHS, talking about patriotism. For me.
That's what you've been doing?
Oh, yes. The missing jig. The gig that is out. The jigsaw. In the jigsaw, that jig that is out is patriotism. We don't love our nation. Even some of our proverbs tell us that we are not a serious people. Abane Juma on Swa Ocho Infanti. That means that, the government work, you don't carry it on your head. It's not your father's work. Drag it on the floor. And we all know what it means to drag. You cause friction, you destroy it, you wear it down. when you are in power or when you get a certain kind of appointment, you are judged as a very successful person looking at how much you've been able to steal. When you come out and you don't have anything, it means that you haven't done well.
Yeah.
You could have achieved a lot by putting in things in place, but the fact that you didn't steal, forget it, you have done nothing. So I'm going around talking to the students, catching them young and telling them that, well, it looks like my generation and other generations faltered a little bit. They probably have failed, but you shouldn't fail. Patriotism.
Well, that's what you're telling them?
That's what I'm telling them.
Okay.
I'm telling them that, yes, my generation, Nkrumah came in and did whatever he did. He made sure that things were right. But generations that came before my generation did not hold it well.
Yeah.
In fact, they made us so weak. And it looks like if we don't stand up and get strong again, that weakness is going to be transferred to you. So let us stand very, very firm. Today I was reading on Ghana web somewhere that a soldier man who was working at the Jubilee House all of a sudden left his position and has relocated to America. And he's saying that he left because he realized he had no future in a futureless Ghana. Somebody who was at the Jubilee House, he saw the president come in and go out. Whatever trouble they gave them, he received some. Whatever it was that he saw, that chased him out of the nation. I am so sad. At the seat of the presidency, a soldier working there has relocated to the U.S. And he's saying that in the U.S., he has a future. KSM, look at how many of our youths travel out of Africa, making their way all the way through Morocco to Lampedusa. There, they are eaten by the whales and the sharks. Recently, I read something and it broke my heart. I wept. What was it? They said fishermen are now running from the other sides of Spain and coming to the island of Lampedusa because all of a sudden this fish population has increased. Why? Because there are Africans who are falling in there and dying. So the fish are eating human flesh and enjoying African meat and flesh. So therefore, the Spaniards are now coming there to catch fishes. Fishes that they thought did not exist for the past 200 years. Now they are catching them on the island of Lampedusa. If you don't see your brother who said he was going to Morocco, it means he has become fish. They have eaten him, and we still import fish from those areas, pack our cold stores. When we eat those fishes, we are eating our brothers and sisters who went to Lampedusa. It breaks my heart. I didn't bargain for this. When we said we were independent, when Nkrumah was pushed to fight for the independence for us, this was not what we envisaged.
No.
We wanted to be a truly independent nation. We didn't want our soldiers running out. We didn't want our police running out. Today, look at it.
And what he said, that if the black man, he was so bullish about Ghana getting independence.
Yes.
He was saying, we're going to tell it over to the world, for the world to understand that if the black man is given a chance, he can prove to the world that he's capable of running his own show. What happened?
And this is what I play on my show before I start my show every day.
Okay.
So it resonates. And anytime I hear that voice, I don't know, it breaks me down. Because I'm asking the same questions. What happened? Well, I've come to realize that it's patriotism that has fallen out. Because if you are patriotic, you will not steal from your nation. When you hear your national anthem, you would almost, in fact, fall in a coma. When you go out there and you are employed, you would work very, very well to make sure that the business rises. But no, when we get employed, we are stealing from our employers to build our own, in quotes. After all, this is somebody's own. Obi ejuma menye no sawo men fan World Cup you bet my palm anytime. You are not thinking about how you would work so hard that this person would find it difficult to even sack you. You are rather thinking about how the person would sack you so easily. You'll be shocked that a media house would employ a number of people, feeding them good, paying them salaries. They are stealing microphones. Some are stealing camera wires. Some are stealing batteries. Some are stealing what? To go and build their own YouTube channel. And I look at some of these things. I tell myself, Black Rasta, the biggest problem we have in Africa, forget the religion and all that, is patriotism. If you love your nation, like the Americans and the British people say they do. In fact, when the nation is falling off, you don't run out and relocate. You stand
stay
and
in and
fix
build,
the fence.
yeah.
Build it for your children and the next generation. Anybody, that's why when recently Mahama said, he said that, oh, dual citizenship. They are going to encourage dual citizenship holders to be able to do politics in Ghana. I said, no. Mahama, this is what you want to bring into the presidency. No, sir, please be a strong Pan-Africanist. And my reason is I support a lot of the things that you say. But I think that you need to sit down and look at this. At this point in our country, we don't need dual citizenships. We need one foot in, another foot in. Not one foot in and
Another
one
foot
foot
out.
out. No. When there's a bomb in Ghana, dual citizenship holders belong to the other nation. When it is calm, they belong here. We don't want two-faced people, much as we respect their legal rights and all that. Right now, we are building our nation, and we are saying that all dual citizenship holders should stay away. They can come and do business and do all that, but they shouldn't hold offices in our nation. Better still, they should stay away. That's how Nkrumah built Ghana. Nkrumah could have held dual citizenships. He didn't. He had white people come and work for him. His secretaries were all white. His advisors were white, ladies, and so on and so forth. But he put black people at the top helm of affairs. You see, it is what it is. When we fall off the patriotism platter, then we are falling off into the abyss. We are finished. This is what we need to be teaching our children. Recently, I heard somebody say we have to re-socialize. I think that is what it is.
Sometimes I wonder when it all started, because growing up, nationalism was like such a strong part of us. That's what we talked about. People were doing cartoons and all about pro-Ghana. I remember even way back when, under the rule of Ike Tampon, at that time they were trying to fix the economy. He said things like, we want Ghanaians to be at the commanding house of the economy and everything. And that was the first time the finance department came up with money we allegedly owed the West. And they said that it had been overestimated. So there was a portion of it that they said was an overestimation. Into a Champon actually said, Yentria. And come and see Ghana. We're all like rallying behind Yentria. Like we are not going to pay this because we are not legally required. Things like that. I'm just talking about the kind of spirit we had then, the patriotism. I remember way back then, I was just in Form 3 or whatever. There was this Dawenya irrigation project that Champon was going to irrigate the Dawenya place to be used for farming and things. And they asked for volunteers. Black Rasta. The place was packed with students. I went to Dawenya. We're actually singing Wala to Wala Sa. All of us working because we are building this. I mean, that was just the idea, essentially. The head of state has called for us. Let's all get up and go and join. Now, we don't move in droves to go and work on any national project. We move in droves to cross the Sahara Desert, to go to other places. So something happened. Something happened. What in your estimation just brought that sudden,
I'm going to go there. I mean, it brings tears into my eyes to look at when people voluntarily came out to do Walantu Walans. Today, if you ask for Walantu Walans, they will ask you,
Thank you.
How much are they going to pay us to do this work for our own motherland? It hurts badly.
Yeah.
I think that where we started to fall off, though gradually, was 1954. Before Nkrumah became the president of this nation. In fact, the NLM, National Liberation Movement, was founded in 1954 at the palace of the Otumfuo. And what did they want? They were people who were not too happy with Nkrumah and were breaking away. Of course, that was okay. 1957, the cause came out and said, hey, listen, all other parties that are tribalistic and religious, we don't need you in Ghana anymore, disband. Do you know that we used to have a party called the Muslim Brotherhood Party? In Ghana, there was a Muslim Brotherhood. There was the Ga Shikpome Party. Those ethnic parties were all there, including the Ewe, whatever party. These were all together. So when we broke away from that, Nkrumah did so well by disbanding all that. They all came together and founded what was known as the United Party. But the United Party was a big shadow of the NLM, the National Liberation Movement. What was the National Liberation Movement? It was still a tribalistic party, an account party whose symbol was this. We are not part of you anymore. We are broken because we have cocoa. We don't want our cocoa to be shared amongst you. That was when the apartheid started. No wonder people like Osafo Maafo can still come out and say and be caught on tape saying, yes, you know, if you want to be president in Ghana and where you come from, there's no gold or some other resource, you should never be allowed to be president. It's like that in Germany. And I'm like, what? It's no more about the brain. It's no more about who would be able to lead the nation. It's about what you have on your land. This was what the NLM, Nkrumah called them a different name I don't even want to say here. He didn't want to call them the National Liberation Movement. He called them the National Liars Movement. They were those who destroyed our nation. They bombed Nkrumah night and day. They chased Nkrumah out of this nation. They broke factories that Nkrumah built, including statues, burnt all his books, and went round all the developmental projects that Nkrumah put out. They stifled all of them one after the other, and sometimes physically even went in there, set fire on them and broke them down. Are these not barbarians? This was what they did. That was where we started falling off. We were no longer thinking about the nation. We were thinking about individuals and tribes. This was where that thing started. And from that time, now it's about this candidate, where is he coming from? Oh, this region, okay. His running mate should also be from this region, rather than what does he have in his head. It's about tribes, it's about religion, no more about academics, no more about intellect, no more about wisdom. Wisdom doesn't rule us anymore.
I think maybe, I see what you're talking, but maybe there was a resurgence, because the time I'm talking about the Wenya irrigation project and the spirit of volunteering, that was all after everything you've talked about. But there was a resurgence, you know. So I'm wondering what led it to go down again.
Yes.
I mean, it was amazing. I remember we called something long vac. I don't know what you called it now. Long vac, which is we had 3 months of vacation time. And when we came for that long vac, we had groups that were on the streets filling potholes. Volunteers.
Yes.
Not a penny.
Yes. The spirit of patriotism has gone down.
Yeah.
As I said, 1954 NLM, it didn't explode. It was a gradual cancer that built up gradually. Now it has become a monster.
Yeah.
It didn't happen immediately. What Nkrumah did, remember Nkrumah said he had lit a certain torch which will light up across the whole of Africa, whether he was there or not. But that canker was eating that torch. Small. And today, we see it so clear. In the days, it was difficult to say, oh, this person is from that area. That person is from this tribe. It was all about Ghana.
Yes.
Look at when Salfo Dagati stood in front of Nkrumah and took all those bullets. He had a family. His wife had just given birth to a fresh baby. He didn't think about the baby. He didn't think about any other person. He said, I have to think Ghana. This is the man who is the face of Ghana. If he dies, Ghana goes down. But if I die, I'm just one person. He took the bullets. Today, how many people would take a bullet for Nanado? How many people would take a bullet for Nanado? In fact, if they have the chance to even load the bullets more, they will load and ask for more trigger. It is what it is. They have let us down. Look at how they run to the IMF and the World Bank, knowing very well that our solution is not from the IMF, it's not in the World Bank. KSM, look at going to the IMF. The interesting thing is that the procedure is not even finished. We've taken about 80% of all whatever, but the city is still hemorrhaging.
Yeah.
It's going to yet another all-time high.
Yeah.
That should tell you that the IMF is not the solution for Ghana.
Yeah.
But these people are still IMF gurus. They tell you that yes, the IMF does it, the World Bank does it. They speak some big English that Shakespeare himself does not understand. They don't think Ghana. All of them are only interested in winning the next election.
I like what you're raising about they don't think Ghana. And I think to the very light extent, this legacy of the colonial heritage is still so deeply embedded in us. You know, the colonial, so-called colonial masters or whatever you want to call them, they are no longer here, but they have put our brains on remote. So they are the ones just push this and then we jump, push this, we sit, and we think that we are broken off. We haven't. Can you imagine the number of IMF presidents that have praised Ghana? Every leader that I know of, I think they were full of praise for, they actually praised Mills for something, they praised Kufuor, they praised Royal. They praise you when, and it is not working, but the leaders cannot grasp it. You see?
It's most terrible. I wish they would go the Sankara way. Sankara was a radical. He was a student of Kwame Nkrumahism. Sankara came into power as one of the youngest Africa ever had. And what did he say? We are not going to the IMF, we are not going to the World Bank. We are going to plant our own crops, we are not going to import anything. And it happened. That year, Burkina Faso, a desert country like that, landlocked country, was able to plant so much food, it actually imported some to neighboring countries. Sankara had a certain motto, I will call it, that worked for him and should work for Africa right now. He said, he who feeds you controls you.
End of discussion. That's it.
IMF keeps feeding you. They praise you when they are squeezing your neck.
Yeah.
As much as you are able to contain it, they will praise you. But when you start shouting, they say you are a weakling. They will leave you.
Yeah.
That is what we are going through, and we are suffering. Our children, unfortunately, are coming through the same journey of the same deception of our. We don't have a single leader who thinks Ghana. Mention one. How can you think Ghana and take us to the IMF? How can you think Ghana and go around telling so much lies? You're going to give iPads, is it what they call iPads, to students. Then all of a sudden, oh, the iPads have metamorphosed into something else. It's going to be computers that have all the textbooks in there, free education that is so meaningless. I can't even understand. Today, there's nothing like long vac. Long vac was planned. First term, second term, the third term was the long vac.
Yeah, yeah.
Where you went out and came back and everything was fresh. No, today you go in for 2 weeks and go out and sit home for 1 trillion years. I went to some of the schools. I went to 7 different regions. And in every school we went, at least 4 girls were pregnant.
Every school.
And this is not too busy. Just a couple of months ago, I was on tour and I'm still on tour. 4 at least pregnant girls, and the school curriculum, whatever, says that, oh, even if they are pregnant, allow them. Why was it that in my days things like this were not happening? Now you let them come to school for 2 weeks, go home for 1 trillion years. When they go home, what are they going to do? Yes, they are going to go on the internet. They are going to watch a lot of things. They are going to get libidinous. And what happens next? Pam, 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 pam. It's happening. They are getting pregnant in the schools. And I ask myself, is this the free education? You promise them this, you promise them that. And sadly, KSM, my son goes to school. He comes to tell me, yes, free education. Oh, they gave me some shirt, they gave me some this. And then, but they said we should still buy these books. And I look at the books they are buying. Hey, they are not small prices. I buy them. He goes back to school, and then he's told that, oh, you are now going home. But when they go home, the same teachers organize extra classes and ask them to come and pay so much money so that they will catch up with the syllabus.
On that note, let's take a short commercial break. When we come back, the discussion will continue. Folks, Black Rasta in the house, showing some love. We're taking a commercial break. We'll be right back.
The KSM Show.
I have breaking news for you guys. This past Sunday, all the fathers met and they issued a very, very urgent communique going to their wives, to their children, and to all their relatives. The communique simply states this, that this Father's Day, they want to spend it at Cactus Creek in Aburi. So the date is Sunday, the 16th of June. The fathers insist, say, Mufomra Cactus Creek. So let me give you the number to call Cactus Creek. Make a reservation for your dad and for you. Come and have a good time. If you're in the local, amazing dishes. 055 039 5007. Cactus Creek. Looking forward to seeing you.
Is it the luxurious rooms? Or the serene green surroundings? Is it the tempting swimming pool? Or the classy conference room? Or the cute gift shop? Maybe it's our chef's array of cooking delights. Whichever way, it's all about Cactus Creek. A most respected hotel. 055 039 5007.
Hi, my name is Angela Metal, a massage therapist at Cactus Creek. My job is simply to pamper you with the 3 hours, to relax you, to revitalize you, and to rejuvenate you. Come and let me pamper you.
055 039 5007.
Most of you are loving my jacket. Mr. Sao, I am if rough. The jacket is provided by ASEPA Essentials. So if you want some, this is the number to call.
0247 661983.
So call ASEPA and get yourself a pretty decent jacket.
The KSM Show.
Hello, my name is Bridget Osimizin. You're watching the KSM Show on Pan-African TV, or if you're like me, addicted to YouTube, go to KSM's page on YouTube and watch fantastic interview, great conversation, relax, look, great questions, but not with a bunyo face, Why are you doing this? No, not that kind of interview, no, but still gets it done. Always the legendary KSM. My name is Bridget. So I say, hey, watch you. If you don't watch, if you want your brain to be small, don't watch.
We're back with Black Rasta, and we're talking deep, man. We're talking about things that we need to talk about because, Charlie, Black Rasta.
Yes.
The way things are going, if somebody says Black Rasta, I agree with everything you are saying. There are so many things we need to fix. Even if we have decided we need to fix something, from what you said, where's the starting point?
Oh,
where
good.
do we start?
Beautiful question. I like this. A number of people asked me this in the past, and I gave them the answer. Now, if I were to be president or the chief advisor to the president, I will not build schools. I will not build hospitals. I will not build roads. We have all those roads, we have all those hospitals. The problem is that we don't maintain them. We don't make them qualitative enough. When you go out and look at projects that have been left unfinished, they are 10 times, 200 times more than new projects that we are building. And every year we bring on new projects that we will never live to finish. They are for political reasons. If I were president, or if I was the chief advisor to the president, number one, we would have a minister of uncompleted government business.
Wow.
That's
a whole ministry.
A whole ministry.
For uncompleted
Government business. It doesn't matter which government. From Nkrumah all the way down to whoever it is. Let's watch out and see which good business was started and was never ended. Even if it was bad, what made it bad? What can we do to make it good? If we are able to do this, I tell you, within 8 years, we will be far better than Rwanda. Look at the uncompleted buildings we have all over the place. Projects, both on paper and on the ground. We need to fix this. Now, the major thing I will be doing is patriotism. Patriotism is the biggest canker we have here. In the days when we had on TV, God bless our homeland, Ghana, and make our nation great and strong. We all would watch and see how it touched us. You see, patriotic songs and so on and so forth. In the days of Rollins, he also had his own patriotic songs which were nice. Arise, Ghana youth, for your country. The nation demands your devotion. Let us all unite to uphold it and make it great and strong. We are all involved. We are all involved. We are all involved in building our motherland. Go out there and ask Gen Z if they know this song that I'm singing. No. It's not only about songs, but songs are spiritual. They touch us. When we sing them, we remember our duties. Until we are able to tackle the root cause of the problem, which is patriotism, we will continue to treat symptoms. And that is not going to inure to the benefit of this nation. Forget about the roads. Forget about the hospitals. Forget about all these things. They are there already. Just maintain them. Stay away from the IMF. Stay away from the World Bank. Stay true to what you have. Why was Nkrumah going all the way to Congo? The Congo Valley. He wanted to turn it so much into a huge African farm that could feed the whole of Africa and even export. Why was Nkrumah thinking like that? Why was Sankara taking that idea too? Because the future is in agriculture. Today, your son goes to school to study agriculture. He comes out with a master's in agriculture, PhD in agriculture. And if you're not careful, he is at the post office selling stamps, or he is in an area where there's no need for agriculture. Look at the School of Mining. Now they have named it after Pa Grant, such a powerful man. Pa Grant, the financier of the UGCC, the backbone of our independence. Today, what is happening? Anytime we discover any mineral, all these years that we have trained these miners, none of them is well trained enough to be able to go and be the head. We bring in Americans, we bring Chinese, we bring Thai people, we bring Sri Lankan people, and so on and so forth, to run it for us. Today we are told that even in Anglo-Gold Ashanti, there is no share for Ghana. Is it not a shame? Patriotism is gone. And until we bring it back, which is the root cause, nothing is going. You can bring God to rule this country, it won't work. Patriotism, that when a man employs you, think Ghana first, that is employing 5 people. He's employing Ghanaians. These people's livelihoods depend on this job. Do it for Ghana. Don't do it for the man. But no, Papa, we more ding. Today he will come, the light is not working. It's just one wire. But he won't do it. He will sit down there now because Papa no more ding. He's not thinking Ghana. No patriotism, Ghana would not move forward. No country has ever made it without patriotism. The other day, I heard one so-called think tank, John something, you know, he said, I was shocked to the bone. This is a think tank. You know, I'm trying to remember his name. He has this staff on his head like that. The brother said, one of the think tanks of the nation, he said, oh, the Ghanaian economy is not working well anymore. Let us adopt the American dollar. I comatose. I went into perpetual coma. I said, hey, do you know what it means to say currency? Do you know what it means to say a currency? It's sad. It's like your national anthem. It's like your national flag. When people see, I used to collect banknotes as a child. I used to collect stamps as well. Your stamp, in those days, police people were at the post offices because a stamp is equivalent to a currency note. And all that. They all are part of your sovereignty. Now, if you sell off your currency, that represents your nation, all those great people on your currency note, you sell that out and go and bring in the American dollar. Then you could have as well given out your flag. You could have as well given out your national anthem and go back into colonialism. I hate back at them. I realize they moved back a little bit. You don't joke with the nation. Remember, the nation is not for you and your think tanks. The nation is for all of us. The nation is for unborn children that are yet to come up. We have to preserve it jealously the way our ancestors did until these weak ones, those weak ones who are so jealous of, generations that did better, decided to destroy it. It's time to fix it.
One time I was talking to someone, I said the duty of a responsible generation is that whatever they came to meet, they improve on it so that the generation that is coming after them inherits something better than they did. And once they've done that and they move away, the next generation that is coming, which is inheriting something better than the generation that went, also improves on it so that those who are coming even inherit something even much more better. You know? But what we have is this. A generation takes over. Not only do they not keep whatever they inherited well, they destroy it.
Yes.
And they move for the next generation who will come and inherit something which is already destroyed.
Oh, Jesus
and
Christ.
they destroy it further and leave for the next generation. So it's almost as if every generation, instead of going up progressively and nicely, we are sort of retrogressing.
It's sad. I heard the president the other day say, oh, I couldn't do it. The next government will come and do it. And he wants the next government to come from his vice president. Together, you messed up the nation. Instead of apologizing and getting the hell out of the place, resigning so better people can come and represent Ghana. And when I use some of these words, I use them without apologies. It's sad. I am hurt as a Ghanaian. You see, I take a certain cue from a hotel. When I go into a hotel, there's normally a notice there that says, please leave this place the way you would like to meet it another time. It's always been in my mind. When you go to America and England, they go to the hotel, they keep the place cool. Of course, you won't leave it the same way exactly that you met it. When they are leaving, sometimes they leave some money on top of the bed, whatever it is, for the next person who is coming to fix the place. As if to say, I should have done this, but because I couldn't do it and because it's not my work professionally, I just want to say thank you for doing this. We don't seem to be able to say thank you to our leaders. And the people who are not appreciative of the work of their ancestors can never be appreciated by the next generation. They will mess it up. They will never be able to do it well. How many times have you seen somebody come up to you to say, oh, thank you. I have been listening to you or watching you for so long and you inspired me. They feel like when they tell you that your head will be big, and for that matter, they shouldn't do that. All these things help to build a nation. It's a certain culture. In Japan, when children are crossing the road, every car waits. They will cross all the way. If there are 100 children, they will go and cross to the end until nobody moves. If there's an animal on the road that's about to cross, they stop. Not in Ghana. Even zebra crossing, cars are hitting and killing people. Pom, 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 pom. The culture is dead. Patriotism is dead. Courtesy is dead. Meanwhile, we were a very courteous people till the British came in here and corrupted us with their stealing tricks and all that. We need to go back to those days, and I think the beginning is patriotism.
The whole issue of patriotism, nationalism, is missing because it's a very holistic thing, you know. It has to be in the music, in the movies we watch, in the place we go and see. They should all have some underlying themes that bring our mindsets to being nationalist, you know. But it's all lost. There's no fabric that is holding everything together. So it's very, very difficult to get a breed of people who are going to be patriotic when they are growing up in this era where anything goes. You know, I mean, a friend of mine was joking that for once, it took him a while to realize that Americans lost the war in Vietnam because all the movies, Rambo, one man, can go to Vietnam and win the war. And that was their mindset.
Yes.
We rule the world.
Yes.
So I'm saying that even the music that, the movies they watch, you know, the music they listen to, all of them adds value to building their nation.
Exactly that.
You know.
In fact, two very quick things. One of the brethren that I am going on the tour with is a Ghanaian who relocated to America and joined the American army. He was a policeman here. He used to be a very powerful policeman, you know, catching all those armed robbers and all that. He relocated to America, became an American, and joined the American army, and they love him. Now, one day he was sitting with his American friends, other soldiers, and they were, you know, talking about Africa, and he spoke about Ghana. He told them that Ghana has the best cocoa in the world. It's called the Golden Pot. It has the best gold in the world. It shines yellower than any other gold in the world. The Americans laughed and said, then why are you here? He's lying. This is a lie. They Googled it and realized that what the brother was saying was nothing but the truth. So they kept asking him, so why are you here?
That's very interesting.
Why are you here? KSM, in the 1920s, we had fixed a lot of turbines for electricity in this country today called Ghana at Nsawam. 1949, that was the year Ghana National College was built by Kwame Nkrumah. Electricity came to Ghana for the first time. Of course, the Gold Coast in Nsawam. If electricity is the backbone of development, go to Nsawam and check their development level now. They were the first to have electricity. 1949. Meanwhile, in the 1920s, there was already electricity coming up, turbines and all that. Today, I'm saying, ask yourself, what has electricity done for the people of Nsawam? It is not there. Patriotism has been thrown to the dogs. We do not respect our history anymore. Everybody is ready to destroy the nation. When we vote people into power, it's their turn to loot so that their families can clap for them. There's so much cliquism. Like some news item came out that Otumfuo went wearing Freemasons attire, and he said that for how many years that he has, 25 years that he has been a Freemason, he's never regretted it, he's happy about it, and Freemasons surrounded him, clapping and singing for him, and happy for him, and blah, 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 blah. So I said, don't let us go into Freemasonry. I don't have time for that. You can go into it another time. But this is a king. Does he understand the kind of king he is? He is a king who represents the kingdom of not only Ashanti, but the rest of Africa. He is one of the topmost kings in the world. Otumfuo. Oti Kokoso, he is sitting on gold. That is a great king. When you became king, your public name went out into oblivion. You took a stool name. You vowed that you would stand by your people and stay with them. Your personal life was gone for good, so your name changed to Otumfuo Setutu II. Otumfuo the first was a great king, Today you are wearing Freemasonry things and you are sitting there, people are coming to hail you. I am hurt as a Pan-Africanist. Why am I hurt? You should be wearing kente there. Once you have decided to become a king, you have sold out all your other rights of calling yourself Samuel. You have sold your rights of becoming John. It's no more there. You are now Otunkununku, Otunfo, the first, the second, the third, the fourth. You represent a certain ancestral kingdom that did not believe in suits and tie. You represent a certain ancestral power that is so ancient that none of these new enterprises and outfits should make you tickle and talk. No. I was so disappointed. K.T. Hammond comes up to say, made in Ghana goods. Today, made in Ghana. Support made in Ghana goods, and he's wearing a suit tailored in China. What are these people saying? Your suit is tailored in China. Your shoe is made in Italy. You are standing before me and you are telling me that I should proudly, that's the word he used, support made in Ghana goods. The president is going around the whole world and he's wearing a suit tailored in Afghanistan or in America, maybe Sri Lanka. He's eating exotic food on the plane. Meanwhile, Ghana Airways has gone dysfunctional for only God knows how long. Which plane are you flying in? How are you representing your nation? Are you not ashamed that you are flying in a plane that is not branded? You are still using the taxpayers' money. If I were president, a lot of these people will not only go to jail, they will go to hell. Trust me. It's sad. Our nation needs correct leaders. Leaders who know our history. Leaders who are able to stand up and say, okay, this is what it is. In those days when kings spoke, it was final. Today, is it the same thing? Galamsey is rife all over the place. You see, not wound to me, Hobson Adoye said he exploded dynamites to frighten his own Voltarians from voting for their NDC so that the NPP would come into power. The NPP came into power and he's only able to come out and speak the truth or confess only because he's been kicked out of the cake eating. It's sad. When would we speak the truth? Only when we are kicked out of the dining table? We need to be able to speak the truth every time. Let our kings remain kings and not politicians. That way, our nation can develop. Our educational system should push away this joke of free education. Everybody's running outside the country to go and educate their children and all that. This is not what we bargained for. How many Ghanaians? Look, this is the time more Ghanaians are even feeling less of being Ghanaian. They want to leave. Statistics show that more Ghanaians in this time are leaving the nation. The other day it came out that Bediatio Asante spoke with the German, Canadian people, begging them not to be given too many visas to Ghanaians. But he came out and denied it. He said he didn't say that. But let's even assume that he said it. It won't work. The Germans want cheap labor, like in the days of slavery. You think you coming to tell them to stop, they will? No, they won't. You must be able to instill in your people the discipline of patriotism so that they can stay with their nation and make their nation tick and talk again. We need those moments again, KSM.
Who agree with you? Because these same Ghanaians, you know, I was away for a long time. And if you see the Ghanaian work ethic in the US, it will blow your mind. Efficiency is what? Ghanaians are working, so you go to work on the first shift, he will close at 5, go straight to his second job, second shift. You know, and they work with diligence, and you'll be amazed with enthusiasm, the passion with which they work. You bring that same person to Ghana, you know, so what is happening is that at least when they are outside, they know they are working, and there's a reward system. You have done X amount of this is what you get for that. You have done extra, this is what you get for that. And they come back to a country which does not reward you for anything, doesn't give a hoot about your nationalism or patriotism. So everything, like you retrogress, you know. Because I've seen Ghanaians, and sometimes I'm shocked. Somebody can drive, a taxi driver that I know, can work from morning, he will clock in, start driving at 9 a.m. to all the way about 2 a.m., not as to the Kemu. You know. So how is it that this same person, when they come to their country?
It's interesting. We can answer this twofold. Number one, the Ghanaian working out there knows that he's working to be able to grab some money and come back to Ghana with that power to rule people. So he'll become a king when he returns with that money. So he's killing himself to bring that power. He sees the money as power, not money anymore. Power, when I come, they will worship me. So when he returns with that power, of our say, and everybody will be clamoring among him. A girl that he even wanted to marry 2 years before he traveled, who refused, now it is his time to tell him, I brought home power. You are all under my feet. That's one reason. Now the other reason is socialization. How is the average Ghanaian socialized? He's socialized in an environment that is utterly corrupt. Corruption is rewarded in the Ghanaian society. Thieves are voted into office and they are heralded and clapped for. That is what it is. So when you are here, automatically, if you want to be hailed, you have to be corrupt. You have to be a thief. You have to, if you are not a thief, then be a friend to the thief. The Hausa people say, Abochim Barao Shiba Baraoni. It means the friend of a thief is also a thief. You see, but if you don't want to be seen as that thief, then be a friend to the thief, or be a friend to the thief's friend. That way, you can also get part of the booty. When you leave and go outside the country, the system there does not reward corruption. But you still want the power, which is the money. How do you get it? Hard work.
Oh man, he's hit on this thing, man. And so, Chief, I beg, I have to detain you small. Okay? So let me sign off for you, those of you at home. Let me sign off. But trust me, like I've been doing these days, we're going to come back in part 2 and wrap this whole thing up. So until I see you again very, very soon, if you're watching it on TV, you're watching it on Friday, Sunday is a part 2. If you're watching it online, the same thing, 2 days away, you're going to get a part 2. So until then, KSM signing off in the words that I've used since Black was a little boy. I am out of, let the whole world say,
The KSM Show.